Hello, my name is Big Mac and welcome to my channel. As this is my first video, let's start with 3 facts about me. First, I can and have eaten an entire family-sized box of Lucky Charms. Second, I have an almost unhealthy obsession with cute things. I mean, look how adorable that is. It is a tiny little face. A tiny little furry face. Adorable. And 3, I have adult onset Tourette syndrome. So I'm going to start off with some basics about Tourette syndrome. So Tourette syndrome is a neurological disorder which becomes evident in early childhood or adolescence. And it includes motor and vocal tics. They are frequent, repetitive, and rapid. It is a chronic condition that has no cure, but it can be managed with medication. So when I say adult onset, that means it is past the criteria. So typically when someone has Tourette's, they start showing signs before the age of about 17 or 18. But I started showing symptoms, I completely developed all of my symptoms after the age of 19. So when I say motor and vocal tics, I mean, they can be as simple as nodding your head or having a facial tic, like I sometimes have, like that. Or it can be as complex as kicking or jumping. And vocal tics. Vocal tics usually are the typical clicking, there's sniffing, humming, making little squeaky noises. Those are very typical to vocal tics. A lot of people automatically associate, when you say the word Tourette syndrome, they automatically associate it with cussing or being obscene, because that's how the media portrays Tourette syndrome. That all sufferers cuss and all of them make obscene gestures. But actually, only about 10 to 15% of the population that has Tourette's has coprolalia or copropraxia. Coprolalia is the tic that makes you say obscene words. Copropraxia is the motor tic that makes you throw obscene gestures around. But the majority of the people usually are just subjected to simple or complex motor and vocal tics. Now I do get the question a lot. What are your tics? It's a complicated question that requires an understanding of Tourette's that most people don't have. Tics change over time. For example, when I first started having symptoms of Tourette's, I was kicking my leg. I was having a full body tic where my leg was kicking, my chest was coming down, and my head was nodding, and my right arm was going backwards. Believe me, when I was sitting in a classroom and that just started happening out of nowhere, it was a little startling. But right now, as you can see, my tics are different. I'm not full body kind of convulsing. Right now I have a set of tics. I've got my facial tic like that. I have my snapping one. I have my clapping one. I have one where my arms like to go back, like I'm partying. I've got my head one that changes. It's either a nodding one, or shaking, or my head likes to go back. Okay. I have gotten whiplash from my head tics. It can be very painful on my bad days. Now, tics can be triggered by stress. They can be triggered by anxiety. Talking to other people about tics can also cause them to flare up more. Being around other people who have Tourette's can definitely make them flare up. I even watch videos and I'm sitting there ticking like crazy, because just being able to see that can trigger our bodies to go like, hey, we need a tick. Now, what I mean by that is that before we get a tick, we can usually feel it coming on. We can usually actually tell where it's going to be and what kind of tick it will be. Sometimes. Other times they just come out of the blue, or it's a really bad day and you just can't stop ticking whatsoever. You may get like 2 seconds to breathe and then you're back to ticking. Now it's what we can describe it as is like an urge, like an itch, where your muscles need to move and you know they're gonna move. So you express the tick. Now, I've had days where I'll have the need to tick, I'll have the urge to tick, but I can't actually express the movement. My body will need to, but it can't. And those days can definitely raise your stress levels, and thusly increase the need to tick, but you're not actually expressing the movement. Now, I'm in my second year of having Tourette syndrome, and I've had to make a few changes to my life. I am currently staying with my parents right now. I am taking a break from classes at my university. It can be tough. Day-to-day life can be definitely a tough one. But I try to keep my head up. I go to a therapist. Trying to find a new one right now. But I do go to a therapist to talk about these situations and to really just help me get past it mentally. Alright, well, that's about it for me. So I hope you enjoyed my first video. A few things before I go. First of all, this right here. This flyer is for the Tourette's Association of America. They have an annual conference around this time of year. This time around it's going to be March 8th through 13th. And I've heard it is pretty awesome. I have yet to go to it. It's a little on the pricey side for my taste right now. But it is a great conference. I have been recommended it by other people who have Tourette's. Also, if you are in America, Tourette's Association of America has a website. I will put the link down below. And they also, on this website, list by state support groups for people who have Tourette's and for family members of those who have Tourette's. So I would definitely give them a look. I'll put the links down below. I'll also put Tourette's Action's link down below. That's the Tourette's Association for the UK. Also, I'll put some tick facts down below and even a website I found that has Tourette's apparel. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you got any questions, leave them down below in the comments. If you want to reach out, I'm starting a Facebook page soon. So definitely check it out. It'd be under Big Mac, obviously. So this has been fun. So until next time, toodles!